Hi guys.
Welcome to Waves and Wheels, looking back with Dennis and Paul.
Well, we've all been waiting for it. The interview with Shaun Tomson is up next,
Yeah.
literally within the next 30 seconds.
Yes.
Remember to like, follow, share, and
Subscribe, please.
We need subscriptions.
Yeah.
All righty?
Subscribe.
Stick with us here, guys. Leave comments. Let us know what you want us to talk about.
All right. Shaun Tomson coming up.
Bye-bye. Woo! This is Harbour Surfboards. This is the icon of the area. It's been here forever. I don't know how many years now. Yeah, so we're gonna walk up here. I'm gonna pause it. I just want to make sure that we're okay to film. All right. I'm gonna pause real quick. Well, we were fortunate enough when we walked into the Harbour Surfboards today to catch, of all people, Shaun Tomson here. I mean, good God, he was a hero of ours when we were young. He kind of mastered surfing pipeline backside. I mean, he killed it, and then surfing off the wall. I remember that little blue board that he had that was just insane. And then, of course, his surfwear instinct came along, and we just took off with that as well. So Dennis is here with Shaun. They had a real chance meeting one time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're going to talk about that?
Yeah, talk about that.
Okay, yeah. One day, I guess we shared the same photographer at one time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Shaun had like 50 others that were pursuing you, I'm sure you had that issue. But one day I had surfed for quite a while. I went home and kind of had a little, adult entertainment, and I was just falling asleep, and Peter called me and said, "Hey, Dennis, I've got some slides I want you to check out." And we just lived across the alley from Peter.
And that was Peter Bruyere.
Peter Bruyere, and he did that quite frequently to me. So all right, how can I? Went over there all raggling and everything, knock on the door. He opens the door, and I take one step in, and Shaun's sitting on the couch and jumps up. "Hi, Shaun Tomson." And I'm like, I don't even know what I said. I was just so shocked, but it was absolute pleasure, by the way, to meet you. And it doesn't matter what the circumstances were.
Yeah, he was a great guy, Pete. He worked for Surfing Magazine. You know, the two big magazines at the time were Surfer and Surfing. So I got to tell you a story about both of those magazines. So growing up in South Africa, I started surfing in 1965. I started off on a longboard. Some of the harbour riders were my heroes, Rich Chew and there was a whole crew of really great surfers. So anyway, Mark Martinson, these big bottom turns, he was incredible. I was surfing in Le Bar in France. But the dream of every young surfer back then was to be on the cover of Surfer or Surfing. When you were on the cover, you had kind of made it as a surfer. So I was a teenager in Hawaii, and I had a really great season, winning the Pipeline Masters and doing really well in the comps, but really putting a big, powerful display at Backdoor and Off the Wall, Sunset, Pipeline, Honey, all the spots. So I had to make a decision. I was at university, I was studying economics. I had to make a decision. What do I do? Because the pro circuit hadn't really started yet. It was just sort of a little bit was kind of starting, and I had to make a decision at the end of '74. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to go back to university? Am I going to go on the pro tour? And Rabbit said, "Shaun, I'm going to go on the pro tour," and I went, I don't know. So I decided to go back to university. And after this great year that I'd had, so I'm studying economics at university, and it's the middle of the year, it's June, and I walk into my dad's bedroom. My dad was a big supporter of mine. He'd been a great athlete in his youth, very badly attacked by a shark when he was young, but never lost his great love for surfing. So I walk into his room, and he goes, "Son, check it out." And I flip it over, and there I'm on the cover of Surfing Magazine. And I go, "Wow, it's like, how amazing is that?" And he goes, "Well, check it out." And I flipped over the Surfer, and I'm on the cover of Surfer as well in the same month. And I mean, yes, it was such a great moment and a great memory of those two magazines. Yeah.
I was on the other end of that. I was kind of running away from Peter and all the photos. I'm soul surfer. Wasn't really interested in the kind of.
Well, I was a soul surfer too. I mean, all of us, I think, were soul surfers, but
at heart,
competition was like an add-on. Like in those days, how could you make money from going surfing? And the only way to do it was by competing. And us, Rabbit Bartholomew, Cairns, Peter Town, and Mock Richards. You know, we were as soulful as the guy that didn't compete, but I think we had the talent to be able to compete and ultimately make a living and build pro surfing and build
Right.
a surfing
Yeah,
industry.
you were in a great time because you built pro surfing. I mean, when I came into it, it's already established, and I'm critiquing it, and don't like that, don't like that. So everybody's proud of you. You and Rabbit and all of those that era started professional surfing.
Yeah, we very, I think all of us are very, I think both things. We have a lot of gratitude for having been able to make a living from doing what we love. It's a very noble pursuit that. And I think we're also, very proud of pulling it together and creating this vehicle now for many young guys around the world to realize their dreams of going surfing and making a living, whether it's Gabriel Medina or John Florence or Nate Florence, who's like they call them free surfers now, or Mike February, all of them, they're not really free surfers because they're getting paid to go surfing, but ultimately, they're being able to realize the dream from going surfing, which is what we had way back in the 70s.
Shaun, can you tell us what you're doing these days?
So today I write books. I've written a number of books. My first book was called Surface Code, 12 Simple Lessons for Riding Through Life, and we're releasing a new edition on the 1st of May, the 20th anniversary edition. So I've written a number of books since then. I wrote another book called The Code, The Power of I Will, which is a book about self-empowerment for young people. And then my latest book was called The Surfer and the Sage. It was a guide to survive and ride life's waves. It was written during COVID to help people move from the darkness to the light. It has 18 chapters, and every chapter is about the duality of life. So while I wrote those books, what I do a lot of right now is I do these lectures, and I do these, they call them keynotes in the business world. I did one yesterday for a big transportation company called Arteris, but I work with the biggest and best companies in the world, Google, Cisco, GM, Disney, Gap, all sorts of companies, and I talk to them about the lessons that surfing can teach you about life, and I talk to them about a code that I developed many years ago, and I encourage people to write their own code, 12 lines. Every line begins with I will, which is a way of empowering yourself, focusing on your future, and also connecting people together in this broken, disruptive world. So my mission right now, create a positive wave of hope and purpose around the world through the values of Surface Code, and through my brand that I've just reignited called Instinct. So we reignited Instinct last year. In March was our first delivery into shops. So it's wonderful to be able to create the world's first purpose-driven surfing brand. So while many brands have been focused around sustainability, my brand is focused around the human spirit and uplifting people through the spirit of surfing.
It's awesome.
This is insane because I'm just finishing up a book about ADHD that I've had all my life. I really didn't know it, but surfing and sports kind of filled that gap, and I really didn't know that I had any issues. And when I retired from my full-time job, I started having real issues, and my wife pointed it out, and I got help, and I don't like the drugs, so I kind of went back on my life and realized that I was doing, I guess it's cognizant therapy, without
Cognitive dissonance.
Without even knowing it. So we're kind of in a related thing. That's what my book is about. I don't want parents to have to put their kids on medication for their entire life.
Yeah,
because it's something that it's not really a sickness.
Surfing is a great vehicle for healing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's a great vehicle to use the metaphor for empowerment. So while my audiences, I speak to hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, 99.99% of them are not surfers, but they respond to the stories of surfing in the same way people respond to Homer's stories about, Ulysses' voyage back from Troy. So surfing has got great power to really transform people, and that's what I do. I'm about how can you help people transform from the darkness to the light, from the negative to the positive.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What can we do to help?
Yeah, you guys can publicize this movement.
We would absolutely love to.
Yeah, we're trying to create this tribe around the world, and I encourage people. I wrote Surface Code 20 years ago, 12 lines. Every line begins with our will. Simple concepts about surfing perseverance, resilience, courage, commitment. You know, I will take the drop with commitment. I'll never turn my back on the ocean. I'll always paddle back out. Simple concepts. And I wrote it in 15 minutes. So I encourage people now to write their own code. 15 minutes, 12 lines. Every line begins with I will. And you can go to my website, ShaunTomson.com. You can download the code free. The code is also on every one of our Instinct hang tags. So what I'm doing with Instinct is intimately linked in with my movement to create this positive wave of hope.
Awesome.
Purpose around the world through the values of Surface Code.
Wow. Great. Thanks for
So
taking
this is what
time.
I want to give you guys a double shaka. So I want to tell you about double shaka as well. So I have this program called Double Shaka. Okay, not just one shaka, but two. Every time I do a paid event for an organization, like yesterday, I do a free one for a school, a university, a rehab clinic, a prison. It's a really cool way to spread the positive wave.
Great way to give back too.
Double shaka.
Shaun, thanks for taking time with us today. We really appreciate it. It's a pleasure to meet you, man. Thank you.
Robert, you've got like a 4.
Sorry, I was gonna wear a T-shirt and I didn't today.
We'll do it. I have T-shirts if you need them.
Oh, look at this. Wow, that looks like the blue board you used to ride.
So you did sign it here a long time ago, and after it got redone. So let me go get it.
Well, that's a nice light one too, eh? You know, I like that low entry with the kind of beak style nose from the 70s.
I remember when you had that whole.
Cool looking board, Robert. This is what the dudes are making now, and they're calling it a million.
Yeah.
This is what they're making. Low entry,
That's right.
round pin.
So,
This was a futuristic board.
no, the conversation really was, I asked you about a bunch of numbers, and this is what we kind of.
It came out insane. I mean, that looks
Let me
like.
turn it around for you. See.
No, I can get it there. I can get it
You got
there.
it?
Yeah, I can get it there. I'll just hook it in there. You want me to just sign my name?
Anything you want. I don't mind. That's where you were. Keep going. I'm a lucky guy.
You make your own luck, Robert.
Well, now it's
You've done well for yourself, buddy.
The soul of that. Yeah.
So you're ready for it.
Yeah, here, well, let's do it like this. Robert, come in here.
love it.
You're keeping the soul alive.
Thank you very much for that.
Guys,
Take care, Shaun.
Nice seeing you.
Grin. Nice to meet you, buddy.
Take care. Yeah, I'll tell Peter. I said,
I will see you. Let's talk.
so we'll correspond.
Hey!
Hey guys,
Here we are.
Dennis and Paul here.
Yes.
We're gonna wrap it up right now. Can you believe the luck? We walk into Harbour Surfboards and there's Shaun Tomson standing there.
Yeah.
He was so gracious, gave us some time, allowed us to record.
Yeah, we were just hoping to find Rob so he could show us the shop and look around and see the differences from the 70s. But we really scored bonus time.
Yeah, Rob took time with us, showed us all around. We talked history. It was a great time. We appreciate it. So we're gonna sign off. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Remember to like,
And
share,
subscribe.
follow, and subscribe.
Dennis and Paul signing out. Waves and wheels.
Take care, guys. Thank
Later.
you.